So with the tail of the tape, Blackwell is marginally the older at 32 with 26 bouts towards his 19, slightly more experienced. But both men are seasoned veterans with significant numbers in the win column and looking to set the bantamweight division alight. BAMMA's own Buddy Johnson will showcase his unique skill set as he makes the introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for 3 5-minute rounds in the professional bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing officially at 136 pounds. With 15 wins and just 10 defeats from London, England, he is Aaron Blackwell. And his opponent in the red corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing officially at 135.8 pounds with an official record of 15 wins with just 4 defeats from Lancaster, England, Shay Walsh. When the action begins, your referee in charge is Mr. Leon Roberts.
Chris, given the pedigree of both these men, this has the potential to be an absolute stand-up war.
And given the well-roundedness of both athletes as well, we could see a few surprises. It was Shay's wrestling that won him his last contest. I have a feeling he's going to look to cut the ring. You can already see him doing that, trying to control the outer 2/3 at this point. Blackwell backing off, using long punches. Blackwell lands a stiff left hand.
Well, Chris, in his last outing, his BAMMA debut, he wasn't at his best, let's be honest. He'll be looking to put that right here tonight.
A good kicking game as well. You can see right now that Blackwell, very, very comfortable, actually sometimes leading with single kicks and then throwing the hands afterwards. What he wants is Shay to get comfortable trying to maybe catch a kick or catch him off balance and move in, but those punches will come after those kicks from Blackwell.
Well, the other thing he's got to realize as well, that Shay will want to get right back on that title trial. He'll want to get back there and get that title for himself now. And really, with a big win against Blackwell, he's right back in the picture, Chris.
Yeah, Shay looked very, very focused this week. The weight cut looked as good as I've ever seen from him. And of course, in the media, very, very vocal about what he wants. He's back in BAMMA, he's back in Birmingham, where he last had that title win. I think tonight he wants to get on the road towards that strap.
Oh, and I think, you know, he could be the man to do it. I mean, Blackwell, though, already showing the skills that we expected to see in his BAMMA debut. Nice movement, fast hands, nice spin kick as well, but Shay Walsh lie on his feet, walking his man down, full of intent.
Blackwell is such an exceptional counter striker. What he's trying to do here is actually pull a counter. Like I said, those single kicks are one way to do it. Sometimes moving backwards is another. And of course, sometimes trying to find head space. If you can look for Shay, you see the way Shay's often bobbing and weaving a little bit. If Blackwell can throw out patterns and read Shay's response, he'll look to target that response.
Well, what I like from Blackwell at the moment is he times it just right, just as Shay sets. Aaron Blackwell throws a little 3-4 combination to make him have to set up again. And for the first time, it's Shay that ties up, because I've been impressed with Blackwell's defensive boxing.
And more importantly, his footwork. People often focus on the hands and the upper body movement. It's what Blackwell was doing on the feet that's really, for the better part of 2 minutes, kept him out of this position.
Boxing is all about footwork. That's the key. That's the first thing a good boxing coach teaches you, is the footwork. And he's been very comfortable so far here.
Look at this. Blackwell gets tagged. That was excellent from Shay. He knew the moment that Blackwell was going to get back up, he released the legs and then punched him. It's not pretty, but it's really effective.
And he's been walking Blackwell down the entire round, staying in the pocket, staying close to him, not giving him any room, making work the whole time. Blackwell shrugs his shoulder there. The jump kick didn't quite work, but Shay being very, very patient here.
Shay can continue to kick here. I think he'll feel very comfortable that Blackwell would not want to get into the clinch or try and take him down. So Shay continues to set up those kicks. He's got really good footwork himself, and not be too predictable and trying to be takedown oriented only.
Well, the bolo punch from the right hand of Aaron Blackwell just misses, but Shay stays there, walking down, keeping him under pressure, forcing him to fight the whole round here.
I like the fact that Shay is staying in his face, but I also like the fact that Blackwell's retreating with intelligence.
Oh, defensively, he throws some superb combinations just to stop Shay really setting and getting a pattern going. Shay has not really been able to totally unload because of this movement and because of this counter action.
Stiff jab here from Blackwell. And the hand fighting from Shay is also very interesting. Sometimes those little left probing hands with the open palm, very emblematic of a traditional Muay Thai take. You know, Muay Thai is, of course, a kickboxing style, but it's also got grappling elements as well. And that's one of the things that Shay is fine-tuned working out in Phuket, Thailand, at Tiger Muay Thai. Of course, the home of Muay Thai boxing out there. So look at this. Again, another spin from Blackwell. He's really unlabored in the way he throws those combinations. There's really not a ton of telegraph, and you wouldn't really see it coming.
It's because he's loose-limbed, he's relaxed, he's moving well, and his timing is impeccable. Just as Shay looks to get up ahead of steam and come in there, even if it's just the jab to keep him away, make him reset and think again. Little combinations that stop Shay really able to build up ahead of steam and unload. Very clever, clever work from Aaron Blackwell.
Clever pressure from Shay as well. Both fighters doing a lot of the right things in this contest. That's nice from Blackwell. A little bit of a mix-up there. I think Shay wasn't actually ready for that. But Blackwell not really committed, didn't get him anywhere, and we're back to a clinch here.
Well, the reason he wasn't committed is he's in that counter-attacking defensive mode, and it's hard to suddenly come out of that. But in that mode, at the end of this first round, there's two things to come out of this. Shay has been very patient. He's been the aggressor, he's been in his space, but Aaron Blackwell, the timing of his defense has been superb.
Let's take a look at some of the action here. That right hand over the left of, excuse me, let's take a look at it here. That right hand over the left arm of Blackwell was spectacular from Shay. Here another couple of combinations. Blackwell looking a little more comfortable when he's got space. Shay's at his best when he puts Blackwell up against the wire. Again, Blackwell senses that. It's an escape route immediately. Educated stuff from both guys.
That's what he's done well, Chris. He's moved well, he's countered well, and his timing has been superb, which made it difficult for Shay to really get up ahead of steam.
And we're seeing some cornering here. I think urging Blackwell to let those hands go a little bit more. You know, he has a reach advantage in this contest. He's been known for those long, straight punch combinations. Bread and butter stuff. It's almost always off the jab, too. I think we're going to try and see a little bit more of that here from him. And I would imagine more of the same with commitment from Shay and stalking him down. Round two.
I think with Shane, Chris, we'll see a bit more intensity and a bit more intent in terms of stepping up the pace. He's had a good look, he's got in close, and I think now he will look to let the combinations flow more fluidly because he hasn't been allowed to do that by the canny nature of Blackwell in the opener.
Blackwell throwing up that right. He looked to load up on it more, but actually pulled that punch. That was better. You see the way he went 1-2 there, jab 2. That's exactly what I was talking about. Look for Blackwell to sit down on those strikes a bit more. Of course, the danger when you sit down on those is that you can be more vulnerable to be taken down.
Having said that, superb spinning kick. I mean, Shay shrugs it off. But the danger for Blackwell is the fact that in this defensive mode, yes, he's picking up points, yes, he's scoring, but he's not giving Shay any reason to back off, any reason to move away. And eventually you think that time will catch up with him, as will Shay Walsh. If it keeps this way, if he can do this for 3 rounds, full credit to him. But that's the key to me. Can he do this to 3 rounds with a man of Shay Walsh's caliber stood in front of him?
And he's doing a good job right now, already in the second. You know, he's got inches between his heels and the wire. Now Shay really getting him into a takedown position, clasp those hands together, lassos up both legs. This is Shay Walsh 101. He's such a difficult guy on the mat.
And we've seen a patient approach from him. Blackwell was doing the right thing. Shay, who we normally know is so happy to stay upright, decides to switch the game. And do you know what? I think it's the right timing in this bout because Blackwell has been shown, well, he's proved very adept full stop tonight.
Look at that, Blackwell catching that figure 4, going for the Kimura and ends up catching the sweep. Great commitment there from Blackwell. He had great confidence to actually go grab that arm and know that by holding onto it throughout that transition, it would catch in the reversal. He does so with fruition.
Chris, the confidence is in his body language the whole bout so far. He's loose-limbed, he's fast, he's easy on the toes, he's moving so well. He's very confident here tonight, and I think Shay's doing the right thing to try and change things up because he's not having the success I think he thought he would have early upright.
And Shay actually had to read that for the first minute. You know, Blackwell was as good as it gets when you're that close to the cage and using combinations and avoiding at least any definitive takedown attempt from Shay. Shay turned that around in the last 60 to 90 seconds or so. This is what Shay Walsh needs to do to win this fight, because taking chances against Blackwell is a mistake.
You're right, and I think there's good timing for him. We said about the patience. He's thinking clearly, he's taking his time, and now, what he's done now is take Aaron Blackwell out of his rhythm by taking him down to the ground as well.
And of course start to ask how in shape he is. This stuff is grinding, grueling. You gotta dig deep here. And when Shay puts his weight into you like that, Blackwell having to defend against some of the little perfunctory shots coming in, all of these things will begin to accumulate. I like the change of tactics from Shay, and I like the fact that he's making a more calculated approach here to try and win this round.
Dead on, Chris. Right tactic at the right time. Aaron was just too comfortable. Even with such a dangerous striker as Shay in front of him, it was in his field, it was his game, and that shows. So Shay's saying now, let's try this, let's see how comfortable you are here now.
And Shay holding on now around the waist. You can see his right arm. He was looking to clasp both hands together, but he couldn't get it because Blackwell was defending. This is a really unsung position in MMA here. And Shay is going to be very patient. Rushing things could allow Blackwell an escape route.
Well, he went for the double leg there, Chris, and Blackwell was aware of it again, drove in the knee, got back to his feet. This is a totally different man to his previous BAMMA outing. He's really, you felt he wanted a good performance to say to people, this is the real me. We're seeing that now here tonight.
And it's been a well-prepared performance. On one hand, Shay knew what he had to do to cut down the ring, disallow Blackwell space, and set up that takedown without getting punished. And of course, on the flip side, Blackwell knew he was gonna have to deal with that and counter it, and use his kickboxing selectively. I mean, he landed some nice spinning techniques. The fact that he was even spinning 360 degrees with those kicks, with his back against the fence, not many men can do that in MMA.
It's a tiring game, it's a difficult game, but for a round and a half, he did it to virtual perfection.
And now he's pushing up Shay against the wire. You know, Shay hit a couple of good takedowns there with some good control. It's a good round for Shay, but maybe not as definitive as he would have wanted it.
I think you're right, Chris. From the moment he decided to change it up, I think he felt that, yeah, Aaron, we know what your game is. We know how good you are. Right, there's that spin, Chris, and that landed. Shay shrugs it off, but that was superb from Aaron Blackwell. And I think Shay got a bit of a shock when he thought, right, let's take you down. Let's see what you can do when you go there. And it didn't happen for him, I think, in the way he wanted.
But he did show some pretty sharp decision-making. I mean, the input that he received there, he actually read Aaron swapping stances. He saw Aaron with his left foot forward, then he swapped, drew that leg back, and then kicked. She anticipated, caught that. That was one of the ways that he managed to get Aaron down. So these are really some of the finite details of MMA competition. Both guys trying to read patterns, both guys trying to establish what it is they need to do to win this contest. It's gonna come down to this third and final round here tonight at BAMMA 29. All on the line, Blackwell versus Walsh.
And for me, this all hinges on what Shay Walsh is going to do this round, because Aaron Blackwell so far has had the answers to everything he's done, and I just want to see whether Shane switches it up again or actually decides to engage in an upright wall with Blackwell.
Inside kick here from Blackwell. Shay, again, that hand out. Very traditional Muay Thai. He'll gauge distance for strikes, or of course, paw his way into the clinch, which I think is probably what he's looking for here, or a level change.
So, at the moment, when you look at it, do you go with the counter-punching of Blackwell if you're a judge, Chris, or do you go with the ring generalship of Walsh?
I think on one hand, you know, it was a little bit more convincing from Blackwell in the first. I think that control and generalship was more convincing from Walsh in the second. It could be split at this point, but it's really close.
So basically, a good third round is vital for either of these men. I mean, Blackwell is back on his bike. He's got that movement. He's waiting for Shay to set, then looks to break his rhythm and get the counter in, like with the Superman punch there. And I'm waiting for Shay Walsh to maybe stand in there and for the briefest of moments really stand and trade with Aaron Blackwell. We know he carries knockout power.
I'd like to see Shay kick a bit more. You know, he's at kicking distance right now. We've seen a couple here, but set him up. Shay has really, really solid Muay Thai.
And that's the other thing, Chris. When you've got someone so mobile as Blackwell, what do? You take his legs.
He did it a couple of times. He caught Aaron actually circling into the power and actually kicked that leg as Aaron ran into it. Nice there again. Shay stepping in double time.
That's what's needed, Chris, to get in there, work the thigh, inside and outside, slow down a mobile opponent, and then working. Because at the moment, Aaron is still so mobile. He'll have to start checking these. There's still 3 minutes in the round.
Nice kick again for Shay. That was good. I like the fact that he doubles up when he sees it open. If he gauges a reaction from Aaron and sees that target, he'll go twice in a row.
And I'd like to have seen that in the second round and see what it did to Aaron's game plan or to his mobility. As I said, there's still time here to damage those legs for Shay, and it's been a very measured, patient performance from Shay Walsh.
Front leg hook kick there from Aaron. And the front leg side kick to the lead leg. Shay actually felt that and backed off. It's a really nasty technique.
I've been impressed with Aaron Blackwell tonight. He's done very little wrong. He had good defense on the ground. His movement, he's kept it up. His conditioning and his cardio, his boxing, his timing. He's really asked a lot of questions of Shay Walsh here.
And he's also got that speed advantage at points that's helped him work out of some pretty difficult situations as far as where he was positionally in the ring.
And Shay Walsh has continued to try and take that center cage, walk his man down, work him hard. It hasn't quite panned out that way at all. I'd be very interested as this round, unless something spectacular happens inside the last 2 minutes, with the way the judges really view this.
And what a high-level matchup it's been, you know. These guys have got skills that have really in some ways canceled each other out despite coming from different origins, and sometimes you see that in MMA. But what a night it's been tonight in BAMMA. BAMMA 29, live from the Genting Arena here on Unilad, worldwide. But folks, if you're here in the UK, tune in. It's the big main card with world title action. Some of the very best in British and international MMA talent from 9 till 11 on Dave, exclusively here in the UK. For all you folks watching internationally, check your local listings.
But we're coming to the last minute now, and you're right, Chris, it hasn't been the war that some people predicted, the stand-up trade-off. But I think that's because two men at the top of their game, and Blackwell has really worked well defensively while countering at the same time. It's a dangerous game to play because the judges might see it the opposite way, but it's been a superb performance by him.
And that was interesting from Blackwell to try to show the level change, but what he allowed now was Shay into the clinch. But I think Shay is the stronger guy, actually, as far as the overall pedigree of grappling goes. If Shay can get him down here, that could be decisive.
And the time's still there. At the end of a round is the best time to impress the judges, the last 30 seconds to explode into action. Because this is a difficult one for the judges, believe me, Chris. You know, depending what they favour, the non-stop going forward of Shay or the constant counter-punching of Aaron.
And right now, some good inside knees here. Those are good. They're not fight-ending. They're not necessarily super decisive, but they're going to score. Just a few seconds to go as Shay and Aaron Blackwell sprint towards the end.
And the crowd react. And at the end of the day, the elbow, the last elbow from Aaron Blackwell will be the winning elbow. We're going to find out soon. But
and what an incredible way here, a 3-round contest going all 15 minutes. Will Shay Walsh or Aaron Blackwell take that next step? Let's take a look at some of the highlights here from that entire fight. Nice overhand right there from Shay, but then countering in that second round, Blackwell utilizing that kicking pedigree. But Walsh, more often than not, able to find a way in. It was certainly a tough fight to score. Well, the judges are turning their cards in.
3 exciting rounds, and we go to our judges' scorecards. And they scored about 30-27, 29-28, and 29-28 to your winner by unanimous decision, Shay Walsh!